So welcome, everyone. There was the voice. She's so nice. So my name is Carrie Strokich. I'm the Public Image Chair. I will safely say that this is a growth opportunity for me, being in public image. I've learned a lot. My background just in knowing about trademarks and public image and logos and all that is my family has about 11 franchise restaurants. So we deal heavily in that magic thing of making sure that we're compliant and on brand. So for public image, oh no, go back. So this is contact information if you need it, and also so it's in the video. And it's also our websites, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where these videos are shared, and that will come up a little bit later too. Picture is me with Paul Harris in Bay City, a great public image tool that we have in town. There are only 3 of these statues that exist, and we happen to have one of them. So sometimes we like to sit down and joke that we're having a conversation with Mr. Harris, take a little selfie. Obviously, it hasn't snowed yet, but that was from last winter. So the presentation won't be long, and I will say public image sometimes is like getting information through a fire hose. It's all or nothing, and there's a lot with Rotary, and it comes with it being an older organization, having a really strong brand image, and being worldwide. So some of the brand standards, think of it as, there we go. Think of it as the golden arches. Anywhere you go in the world, that symbol is the same. The Rotary wheel and the Rotary name are our brand, the same as the golden arches. It helps us be recognized across the world and across languages by fellow Rotarians and those that have benefited from our acts of service. Being a club, you get to use the Rotary brand, the master brand, the logo, and it means by being a club that we agree to use it the way that Rotary International requires. They are the parent organization. The Brand Center is an amazing way to get a lot of information. And I will say if you visited it before and were disappointed, the Brand Center has come such a long way in providing information and having different forms of media available now to use on websites and in clubs and on Facebook. So that way you don't have to create it. And of course, they're extremely professional. So the Brand Center is located at www.brandcenter.rotary.org. It does not require a Rotary login now. So it used to, you had to go under My Rotary and kind of find it. You can go directly to that website and it will have all of that stuff there. They have information about their brand, downloads, templates, there's videos right here. So you can go in and see about the brand. Downloads are images that they have. Their current campaign is People of Action still. Promotional materials, banners, and posters. This is a big thing for your clubs, and I know it's one that our club is looking to update on. What signs or notifications do you have that you meet at an area? The roll-up signs, things like that. We have a lot of flags and they're hard to hang. In the summer, we had a windy spot, so pull-up banners are an option that we're looking into. And they have those already pre-designed in the Brand Center, so that way you can just order them. And it makes it really helpful. I fully believe in not recreating the wheel and taking the shortest path possible to the destination, as long as it's legal. And this is a great website for you to do that. It also has templates that are customizable for your events and different things that you want to promote. Rotary is really trying to get away from people creating their own logos. A lot of us have Canva. It is a slippery slope, but there's a lot of pre-built stuff that we can use to make our jobs easier. So one thing to highlight just over here on your right-hand side of the screen are just some examples. So the Brand Center is more than just having media for you to use or collateral. It has information about avoiding errors and having the wrong brand. Rotary is cracking down on this a little bit, and part of it is because many clubs have experienced similar things, that you get copyright infringements. Your Facebook page may be shut down. When Rotary has to reach out to these organizations and defend the club's use of that, it does cost them legal fees. So while it may sometimes seem that they're just nitpicking, there's a larger aspect to it. Rotary has lots of trademarks. It's very common for organizations to trademark things very close to their actual name. For Little Caesars, ironically, everything from hot and ready, hot to go to hot, 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 hot. Like they have there's about 50 trademarks. So no one else can use those things. But when they are used, the franchise will go after that. It's the same with Rotary. If there's a group or an organization that isn't a Rotary group and is using the wrong branding, that's one of the first signs, but they will go after them to make sure that our brand as Rotarians and Rotary International is protected. So here's a great example of correct logos. So logos and Mo. So Mo is the master brand, right? So the rotary wheel. This is how everyone wants the rotary, or how Rotary wants the rotary wheel to look now. Some people are very, very attached to the wheels, how they looked when they joined. But we're really looking for progress and looking to make sure that we're following along with what Rotary International wants. The larger Rotary brand, the wheel should always be to the right, Rotary always to the left. And then 2 examples at the bottom of the screen are ones that I use. You do not have to include the district in your club name. That's something that we chose to do. Same with the district logo. We don't have to include zone 28, but sometimes it's helpful when you're talking to other zones to be able for them to understand immediately where you're coming from. These were both designed on the Brand Center. They are extremely easy to use and then to download. The other thing that Rotary provides us, which in if you've used Canva or any graphic design stuff, you'll appreciate, there's a myriad of colors that we get to use. We have the classic gold, royal blue, but there are other colors that we can use as accents. They're not locking us just into the 2 basic ones, but the other colors should be considered more of accent colors rather than primary. They also have primary fonts that we can use. One of them, and I'm not going to pronounce this correctly, is called Frutiger or Frutiger. That is a licensed one. So that is something that is available on Canva, but it's something that Rotary has licensed for them to be able to use. Those are the primary fonts they would like you to use when you're designing things, talking about Rotary, and doing all of that. So that way, between every club throughout the world, there are some standards that are following, so everything starts to look the same. Secondary fonts are used for body text, secondary headlines and captions. So this is just something to kind of give guidelines. For the colors, they have all the color codes listed on Rotary or on the Brand Center. So for those of you not familiar with it, every code has, or every color has a certain code, letters and numbers to make sure you're getting that exact one. I joke that I don't know who designed all the letters and numbers, but it was a serious color nerd. And I love them for their passion and dedication because it really helps make sure that you're getting the right color in there and using the right thing. So there are multiple types of public image types, and public image can be a very broad spectrum of things. And sometimes people feel it can do everything and save their club, and sometimes it could be the downfall of a club. But we have many different types of public image. And it can seem sometimes like you're walking through a dark forest and just looking through the light when you're trying to figure out what assets your club has. So we have heritage and physical collateral. These are a lot of times what you see above parks. In Bay City, we have the Rotary Master Brand coming into town, and it used to list where we were meeting, so that way people could find us from out of town. I traveled for a conference. I was in Long Beach, California, and when I came in from the airport, I saw a Rotary brand. It said exactly where their meeting was, so if I wanted to join. Parks and things like this, Rotary is getting away from and asking clubs to stop naming things Rotary such and such. For example, in Bay City, we have Rotary Park. Again, this all comes from a legal perspective. Rotary International is not sponsoring that park and they are not responsible for it. So when you're naming things, they would really like it to be such and such park, like Jane Street Park, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Bay City. And that's just to help make sure, 1, that your club is getting the proper recognition, and 2, that Rotary isn't experiencing any issues because of that. You have your social media, you have Meta, Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn and TikTok. TikTok is for the brave of heart. While I do love to scroll it, I'm not brave enough to put myself on there yet. But I guarantee you there's someone in your club that is much, much better than I am with some of this stuff. Facebook and Instagram are nice. You can schedule. They reach 2 different groups. Facebook skews a little bit older. Instagram is skewing a little bit younger. LinkedIn is a much more professional site. So when you're looking for young professionals, it's important to have your club members go on there and make sure that they're listing that they're part of that, so other people can see the same thing when they're going on and making connections on LinkedIn. TikTok, purely for entertainment, although it is turning out to be an educational resource, not always verified. Have fun with that. For your website, Club Runner, or an external hosting site, the district does host some of the clubs for their Club Runner accounts. So if you are having issues with your website and you don't have your own Club Runner login, please let me know. I'm also the web admin for the district. But these are all options that we have, and we could have all of them. We could have one of them. Hopefully we have some of them. And this is a slide that I presented at PETS, President-elect Training Seminar. There should be a public image share for your club. Now I say this holding multiple positions, and I know there are people that I can't see on the video right now who may laugh at this. But you don't have to do everything. You don't have to hold more than one position. You just need to reach out and ask. We're getting to an era that people are a lot more familiar with public media or public image, working with media types, that it could be something that they can help schedule your Facebook posts, or maybe they have a passion for creating graphics in Canva. That's amazing. Try to outsource as much as possible, so that way there are different voices coming in, and then have a public image chair. So heritage signs, like I said, are ones that just knowing like where your signage has been placed. So around Bay City, we've been trying to keep track of where we have our meeting location placards, because we don't meet in the same place that we used to. You don't want to leave those around, and sometimes it gets a little complicated depending on where the sign is and if it's on the side of a road or things like that. Once you figure them out, having them documented is priceless to your club. I'm a big fan of Dropbox, creating documents and sharing them in there with different people and different accounts. So that way you have them, because you should, again, not have to recreate the wheel every year and figure out where these are. And it should be easier for everyone. This is a great way to also ask the members in your club and hear some stories that you can use for public image to hear about how some of these things came about. I know in our club, like some of the stories are just hilarious, but we have a lot of documentation and history that goes along with getting the Paul Harris statue in our Rotary Park. Those are things that we want to know and keep, and so we've been looking to save those digitally. They can be stored on your Club Runner account, which is a great way to upload documents and keep them there, so that way whoever is in charge of the club will have access to them. I like secondary and tertiary backup, so I store them on Google Drive. I also store them on Dropbox. So for social media, like I said, it can seem like the deep, dark woods. You'll get through it. And again, I guarantee you, if this is not your passion, there is someone in your club who has it. For Meta, Facebook and Instagram, make sure to convert to a business account. It allows for multiple account administrators, and it doesn't tie it to one person. So when they take their toys and maybe go home from your club, that you still have access to it. I will say Facebook sometimes requires your blood type, DNA sample, firstborn child. It gets really hard sometimes to verify that you have access to that account. And it just makes sure that all of that is protected for your club, because all of this is your club's story and your history. Facebook is more informal. It relies a lot on algorithms. They really love it when you pay them for ads, and sometimes $5 goes a long way. Posts can be scheduled ahead of time. Again, work smarter, not harder. LinkedIn, more professional-based audience, high recruitment potential, easier to show member network connections, and it's less political and social-based. And I know we've all tried to watch TV recently. In election years, it gets really hard to even watch a football game. Go Lions, by the way. And it's just a way to get your message across to maintain that professional stance. A lot of people are going off Facebook and Instagram, especially during election years, just because they don't want to kind of get brought into that, or it's overwhelming. LinkedIn is also a great place for you to talk about what your club does. It does notify everyone following your network. TikTok, visual storytelling, definitely a younger audience, but it is skewing older. There's a lot younger content creators versus like people who just use it to watch videos and learn what the youngins are doing. But it can also be a great short way to introduce your club and have cute videos. You can also do reels on Instagram if you already have an Instagram account. Don't create an account just because you think you should. Really have a plan for it and how long it's going to last and how much time it's going to take. So YouTube, this is something that this video will be on and all your faces too. YouTube can be a great way to store and showcase events from your club. So the class is coming in, like I said, and they're all really right now working for hot chocolate on Monday. So YouTube can be a great way to store and showcase events from your club. It's a part of Google and requires a Google account to get started. This is important to like maybe set up a club account for email. So that way it's not just linked to one person. The district has a YouTube channel and we are putting up all of our Friday power hours. We're going to put up other videos from the club and from conferences. Rotary has also has a YouTube channel and they have videos too. So these are great ways if your speaker cancels for a meeting and you don't know what to do. You know, the pandemic did teach us how to use Zoom and share screens and hook video up. So this will allow you to still have some educational content. And I just went on there today and Rotary International is also putting videos from international conferences. So for people who can't attend international conference and you have people who might come back from it and are very passionate, you can then show them the speakers that everyone is seeing. And this is something new that Rotary International is doing. And it's also in the brand center. So there are backups, no reason to stress, no reason to all of a sudden think of what you're going to say. There are videos there that can really engage your members and kind of bring back the message for Rotary. There is no reason to recreate the wheel. People are doing it for you. So websites. It's important to know where your website is hosted. Very, very important. So is it registered to a member? Is it registered to your club? Is it through Club Runner? Is it through the district? The websites through Club Runner populate very easy. The widgets are really easy to use. They can be frustrating at times, but you can also put what's called an RSS feed in there, which pulls the latest articles from Rotary International and consistently updates your website. So that way you don't have to go and find the information, but all of the newest releases of information from Rotary International will pop up on your website. And again, knowledge transfer. This has been something that during my tenure as public image chair in the district that I'm really trying to work on and make sure that we have transition documents. Because we all are volunteers, we don't get paid to do this. We want to make sure that the work that's being put in by our volunteers is appreciated and retained. So who has access to the control of your accounts? What are the passwords? When should items be reviewed and updated? And make sure to register or convert to a business account through Meta Business. This allows multiple account administrators. And also if someone tries to go through and delete you, not saying that we would ever do that because we all follow the 4-way test. It gives notifications and there are backups. Years of social capital can be lost with someone deleting your account or losing access to a website. Even in our instance, over the past 2 years, our domain changed from a .org to .com, simply because we didn't know who the administrator was for the website. We tried to obtain it and pay for it. We couldn't make contact with them. So we just switched over to a new domain. Club Runner, the company, is nice enough to register those domains for you. And then you rent it basically for a certain number of years. So we have ours for the next 3 years. They'll send me a renewal notice and they manage all of the registration for that. And it's just a small fee. It makes it a lot easier. If you ever do have issues with Club Runner or your website through Club Runner, their help desk is amazing. I have never waited more than a couple days to get things resolved. And they work very hard to make sure that our needs are being met as club members because we do pay for that service. So that is the end of my presentation.